happens sometimes twice. That's why it's so important to know how to handle unexpected situations that can cause an interruption of our systems or services. Welcome to this introductory course of incident management at NetCentric. At the end of this course, you will get to know what is an incident and what steps are taken in the process of incident management. You will also be introduced to some of the most important tools that we use at NetCentric for incident management, like for example log analysis or the use of dev tools. According to ITIL, an incident is an unplanned interruption to an IT service or reduction in the quality of an IT service. Failure of a configuration item that has not yet affected service is also an incident. The ITIL incident management process ensures that normal service operation is restored as quickly as possible and the business impact is minimized. It is important to put the focus on the last part of the sentence. The main goal of incident management is to restore the service as soon as possible. If we are able to deliver a workaround that will temporarily solve the issue, then we should do it before start thinking about implementing a long-term solution. Any other action will be postponed until the service is restored. What is considered a normal service operation is defined within the Service Level Agreement, SLA. This should be negotiated between the service provider and the client as part of the operational contract. The incident management process involves several steps since the moment the issue is reported until it's solved. The process starts with the reporting of the incident. This can happen in different ways, depending on which tool we are using. In NetCentric, we use Jira for project management, so most of our incidents will come in the form of a Jira ticket. The next step will be to assign the ticket to the person in charge of taking ownership. This person, usually a support engineer, will take care of leading the process until the issue is solved. The first action we have to do when we get a new incident is to review it to ensure that we have all the necessary information and, after this, to classify the incident and give it a category for further tracking. After this is done, we will start with the proper investigation of the incident. This step involves many different actions that we will review in the next video. Once the incident is solved, whatever solution was implemented needs to be verified. It does not matter if it's a workaround or a permanent solution. The requester needs to double-check that the service is working according to expectations. The final step will be to close the incident, informing all the stakeholders about it and documenting the solution implemented. All these steps can be translated into statuses of the Jira ticket that we are using to keep track of the incident. Let's see now how they look like. This is how a new incident looks like in Jira. As you can see, the initial status is open and the ticket remains unassigned. The first step should be to acknowledge the ticket to let the requester know that we have received the incident and we are working on it. We assign the ticket to the person who will take ownership and we will send a message to inform. We also move the ticket to In Progress status to flag that we are currently working on it. We can then create an initial category for the ticket by using the label and component fields. The way to categorize incidents depends on the project you are working in. Each project uses different components and labels to help with future tracking. Whenever an incident goes into a phase that requires feedback or the incident will remain on hold until further notice, then we can set the status to pending. Sometimes this status has a different name like on hold. Once the incident is resolved by the support team, we can set the status to resolved and let the requester know that we need the final confirmation. When the requester double checks that the incident has been resolved and confirms it with us, then we can set the ticket status to close. It is extremely important to document the solution implemented, so it can be used for future similar incidents. The closer comment must contain all this information and, depending on the project, it will be also required as a field to fill in the closing form. In this first video, you have learned what is an incident and what's the purpose of the incident management process. You have also learned the different steps of the incident management workflow and how these steps are translated into different stages of the Jira ticket. You can take now a quick test to evaluate your own knowledge before moving to the next topic.